Okay, you need not only your math workshop, but you need to have out your notes. We're still on page 9. You really need a graphing calculator, so if you haven't grabbed one, you need to grab one now. It would be smart to clear out what last period did, because I know they typed all of it. So again, second memory, memory management, matrix, and then delete the ones. You say that again. Second memory, memory management, go to matrix, and then if you have any matrices listed, it's probably smart to delete them because that's what last period did, and you really don't need their work. That didn't help you any. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started for today. The singing person is on my nerves. If I were you, I would have a piece of paper. Because for our first couple problems, I'm probably going to write on a separate sheet of paper because I don't think our notes have enough space. I forgot to say that as well. At the end of class today, Daniel's going to, well, not Daniel, because Daniel already knows his secret. That's a bad person to take. Ellie's going to be mad at the end of class today. She worked really hard last chapter on something, and she's going to find out that there was a way to do it with her calculator this whole time. So, just FYI, I already anticipate you're going to be mad. It's okay. I'd be mad too. You know who would really be mad is not here? Tylen. She would be really mad because she worked really hard on those challenge problems. And okay, we're about to kill it. So let's go ahead. We need to do 1 through 6 on this math workshop. It's the one the sub gave you on Monday, so if you don't have it, it's in the 23. Can someone help me with number 1?
8.
If you factor out an 8, what are you left with? 2. And you can have a point, Ellie. That was easy. We just did GCF. Perfect. It seems like every single workshop starting off the same way with so many factoring problems. So today is getting a little harder. Number 2, yes, ma'am.
3D minus 5.
Okay, so she did grouping. She factored out a 3D. No, she didn't. Oh, okay. She's already answering the whole thing. Okay, perfect. Oh, no, that's great. So she said 3D minus 5, and then what?
And then negative 7 plus t.
I'm going to do t minus 7. But yeah, negative 7 plus t, same difference. So she did grouping. She factored out a 3D. She was left with t minus 7. She factored out a negative 5. She was left with t minus 7. 3D minus 5, t minus 7. That's perfect. In fact, since she did it so quickly, she can have 2. Number 3 is in the wrong order for us to factor well. Can someone help me put it in the correct order?
8 squared. Minus 8 plus 64.
2 and 5 get a point. And then you want to factor this. So I need 2 things that add to give me 8, add to give me negative 8, multiply to give me positive 64. This is where life gets fun. Okay, so what multiplies to 64? 1 and 64, what else? 8 and 8, what else? 4 and 15. That's not what you meant, that's 60. 2 and 32, there's more.
4 and 16.
4 and 16.
Is what I meant to say.
Okay, I think we might have come to the end of the road, though. Do any of those, when you subtract them, do you get a difference of 8? No, so what are we going to put?
No.
We're not going to put no solution. We're going to put not factorable. And that there is a difference, and that's what I do want to mention today, is that, oh, I forgot to say all those words, so this is a good time to get some extra points. When is your next test? Tuesday. Every group can have a point. It's Tuesday. Monday is the study guide. We'll talk about that in a second. Your test is Tuesday. We're bidding adieu to matrices Tuesday. So on Wednesday, we're starting 10:23. Look in the 23. Okay. When we start class on Wednesday, we're moving on to Chapter 4. Chapter 4 is quadratics, which means we're going to have to do more factoring. When things aren't able to be factored, that doesn't mean there's no answer. That just means it's either a decimal or that it could be an imaginary number. That's when we'll get to pull out that lovely quadratic formula. So just because we couldn't factor it doesn't mean there's no answer. It just means we couldn't factor it. Okay, let's go to number 4. Yes, dear?
I got 5b minus 19, 5b plus 19.
And you can have 2 points for that. Okay, the reason he gets 2 points is because he didn't even tell me he recognized they were perfect squares, because 25 is 5 squared and 19 squared is 361. And he just handled it very well, very quickly. That was perfect. Okay. Number 5 makes me sad because it's not an easy factor one. Why is it not an easy factor one? What number makes it not an easy factor one? The 3 in the front. Thank you, Ellie. You can have the point. The 3 in the front. So instead of saying what two things, add to give me -2, multiply to give me -5, it's not going to work anymore. Okay, so this is what we're about to get into next chapter. What to do when there's not a leading coefficient of 1. And I can teach you lots of different methods. Bust them up, get them. There's the star method. There's lots of them. But the one we're going to do today, which is, to me, the most, shows you have the most math skills. Like, you're good at math. Like, you got this. Is just guessing. We're just going to guess and check. So we need 2 things. We still need 2 things that multiply to -5. So what things multiply to -5? 1 and 5. So I've got to decide, like, maybe the 1 goes here, maybe the 5 goes here. I don't know. I'm just literally guess and check means I'm guessing and I'm going to check. Now, since it's a -5, doesn't one of them need to be negative?
Yes.
So which one?
The negative 1. The 5.
I don't know. We'll just guess. So I heard the 5 first. We'll try it. Literally, I've guessed. Now, you already know my next guess would be 3p plus 5, p minus 1. I can talk today. It will happen. But regardless, we guessed. Now we got to check it. So when we use the FOIL method, do we end up getting what we had originally? If so, we've done it great. If not, we need to change our guess. So first is 3p squared. Outer is 3p. Thank you. Yes, dear. Come on. Go ahead. Inner is -5p. Last is -5. So have I guessed correctly?
It's not letting me do, like, I hit that, and then I do minus, and do B. It's telling me error.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't I be able to see this? This is a 3 by 1 and a 1 by 3.
Are you multiplying?
No, I
If
just
you're not multiplying and you're just adding or subtracting, then it has to match. Like 2 goes from -6, -1 goes from 9. Who goes from 5?
Oh.
Nobody. So put not possible. Okay, so we guessed, and we were trying to check before I got distracted. So it's 3p squared plus 3p minus 5p minus 5. When I combine those like terms, I have 3p squared minus 2p minus 5. Did we guess correctly? Yeah, we did. But if we guessed incorrectly, it's literally easy to change. We would just say, oh, maybe it's a +5 and a -1, or maybe the 5 and the 1 need to swap spots. It's not that deep. I like guess and check best. To be honest, we'll go over other methods, but your algebra teacher already taught you how to factor. You've just forgotten. Some sort of weird phenomenon that needs to be studied about how people can't remember how to factor for longer than a year. I don't know. It's strange. Very strange. And because people can't seem to remember how to factor, we're going to skip number 10 today because its leading coefficient is 2. We're definitely going to skip 9 because, whew, h to the 4th, fun times. So the last one we're going to do today is 6. What can I factor out in 6? If I factor out a 2ab, thank you, Ellie, I'm left with a 2ab plus a minus 5b. Ellie gets the point. Are there any questions about that? 7, 8, 9, and 10 are Monday's problem. We pray eventually we'll get caught up to the current week's bell ringers. Math workshops. Bell ringers? I would never say that. Math workshops. Okay, how about your notes from yesterday? We were on page 9. We're only doing 6 problems today. We have 6 problems and that's it. Now, immediately when you see those 6 problems, you're a little scared. Why? Because they're systems. And how long does it normally take you to solve just three equations for an unknown system? A long time. You have to do elimination like 4 times. And it took forever, right? Yeah, it did. Also get out that handout that was for the calculator that I gave you. Okay. It was, and it was worthwhile there. Okay, so ish. Yeah, that's the problem. What day was that? So my leftovers would be in the 24. Okay. So, and Angel's finally caught on. Basically what I'm telling you today is you worked really hard on how to solve these systems, and I'm about to show you how to do it in the calculator in like 5 seconds. But the bad part is, like, yeah, that sounds really nice, but if Seth makes a typo, because it happened to me last period, I made a typo. You know why? I wrote down exactly what my calculator said, and I can't really give myself partial credit because I didn't show any work. So it's still not a bad thing that you knew how to do all the other stuff. So let's start off with the simple stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our system and write it as a matrix, and then there is a button that we can press that will solve that matrix for us. So I'm going to take my x values and put them in my first column. So on number 1, my x values are 2, 3, 4. So my first column is 2, 3, 4. My y values are 1, 2, 1. So my y column, I'm going to do 1, 2, 1. My z column is 1, 3, 2. And I'm going to come back and do the last one in just a second. What kind of matrix is this right now? It's a square matrix. I heard you say 303. Ellie said the word square, and Ellie had the point. So a square matrix, if we're trying to think of the identity matrix, what would it look like? 1, 0, 0. 0, 1, 0. Okay, so you recognize that, again, 1's on the main diagonal. So that's what we're going to look for today is we're going to, when we type this in our calculator, we press the right magic button, we want to see that identity matrix on the left, and then we're going to see some numbers on the right. And the numbers on the right are going to be the answer. So, like, yes, there's the identity matrix, and then the final 3 numbers are our answer. The top would be the x, the middle would be the y, and the bottom's going to be the z. Okay, so I got to finish setting up my problem first. So I did an x column, a y column, a z column. I'm going to have a number column. 1, 12, negative 1. 1. 1, 12, negative 1. Now, if, life is not always nice, they're not always set up x, y, z equals the number. So if your equations aren't in the right order, you do need to rearrange them to the right order. But literally right now, I'm going to, now that I've set up my matrix, which I probably would show on my paper, so Ms. Compton has a little work to see. I'm going to go to second matrix, edit, and I'm going to put this matrix into A. So it is a 3 by 4. And my entries are 2, 1, 1, 1. 3, 2, 3, 12, 4, 1, 2, negative 1. Okay, so I've typed this matrix in my calculator. Are there any questions about that? Okay, I'll give you a second to type it in, but I'm pretty sure you could have guessed, hey, we're going to type this bad boy in. Okay, so I'm going to get out of this. Second quit. I'm out of it. Go away, stuff. Okay, so you could probably guess we're going to press second matrix again, and then we're going to press math. So if you're wanting to write some notes to yourself of what happens next, we are going to go to the matrix thing. We are going to press math, and then the button we're going to scroll for is RF. Not just ref, RF. Perfect, thank you. So I press second matrix. I want to press math. I'm scrolling. And yes, there is ref, but we don't want ref. We want RF. So you need to make sure you pick the right command, or else you're going to get the wrong answer. So we want to RF, and I typed it in A, so second matrix A. So if you typed it in B, you'd have to RF second matrix B. Okay, and then you press enter, and what answer do you get?
1, 0.
What is the, I get it's the identity matrix on the left, but what's the answer?
Negative 4, 3.
Yes, table 2 gets the point. So again, yes, I press enter, and I see the identity matrix on the left. So the answers are that final three. So x is -4, y is 3, z is 6. So my answer is -4, 3, 6. So I'm really going to say -4, Sadie, and -3, 6. You feel betrayed? Is that what you
Angel
said?
says she does.
Oh, well, that's funny. She'll get over it. Yeah, she will. Okay, are there any questions about that? Again, you have to see the identity matrix. And we'll come up with an example in just a few minutes when, like, what do you do if you don't see the identity matrix? Which kind of makes sense. You could probably already guess. If you don't see the identity matrix, then it's either what or what?
Typed it in wrong.
No solution or infinitely many. Yes. Paige
You
gets your
typed
point
it in
now.
wrong.
So either it's no solution or infinitely many. So every time you get the identity matrix, that literally is the answer. Okay, so let's go ahead and do number 2. We're going to set it up. So number 2, in the x column, I'm going to put 6, 2, 2. In the y column, I'm going to put -4, -2, 2. Z column, I'm going to put 2, 6, 2. And then in the numbers column, -4, 10, -2. So I'm going to go type this exact matrix in my calculator. If you can beat me to the answer, your group can have a point. Yes, Terry, I will give you 2 points. Okay, so I typed mine in B. That should be easy. You should understand how to type that in. I go to math. I'm going to scroll all the way to RF. I think it's B, but I'm scrolling anyway. So RF. I typed it in B, so second matrix, B. I press enter, and I get my identity matrix. And then -2, -1, 2 is my answer. So x is -2, y is -1, z is 2. So I put on my paper -2, -1, 2. Are there any questions about this? Are there any questions about this? Okay, well then let's set up number 3. I actually want someone's help setting it up. What should I put in the x, y, z column, the number column? Paige, keep going. It's -5. She messed up on one of them, but well, she almost had it. And the last one was... Okay, so the reason I picked Paige is she can have a point. The reason I picked Paige is because... Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. The reason I picked Paige is because she understood if it didn't have a variable, for instance, the second equation doesn't have a y, that's why we put a 0 for the y. The third equation doesn't have an x, so we put a 0 for the x. If you can't make the right matrix, how are you going to get the right answer?
You know.
So are there any questions about how we set up this matrix? Okay, then same bet. Beat me to the answer, you can have a point. Yes. I'll give you 2 points if you do it in fraction form.
-4, -1/2, 1/4.
2 points. Okay, so you typed it in, you pressed RF, and what decimals did you get? Didn't you get, is everyone here, you got 1.25, -0.5, and 0.25? Yes. Anyone need a little longer on that? Okay, but again, we learned yesterday that if we really want our answers to be fractions instead, because that would be easier to read, math frac changes every single entry in your matrix to fractions. So that's how Gilberto got 5 fourths, negative 1/2, 1/4. It was genius. Okay, are there any questions about number 3? Okay, then on number 4, we will be lazy, although you realize this is not what we should do for the test, but we will be lazy. On number 4, I'm going to put it straight in my calculator. I'm not even going to write out the matrix, unless someone asks me to. And you tell me what answer you get. That is not what I got. Did you type everything in your matrix correctly? Okay, so I typed in for my matrix, I did 1, 0, negative 4, 10, 5, negative 2, 5, negative 25, negative 2, 1, 1, 1. Does anyone else have the answer?
I did 4 points.
Yes, Jax, you can have the point. We'll give you 2. So it's negative 2, 0, negative 3. Okay, so when I pressed RF, it gave me the identity matrix on the left, negative 2, 0, comma, negative 3 on the right, so that is the answer. Woohoo. Are there any questions about this? Okay, but again, if you're like me and Karen, because it's really easy because you're trying to do it fast, because I get it's a race, but in real life it's not a race, you know that. If you type it really fast or whatever, there's potential you made a typo, and then Karen writes the wrong answer, so it's probably good for her to at least show this so I can give her some points for something. It's not a bad idea to recheck your matrix before you go crazy and press RF. Okay, Daniel, do you have your handout for the calculators part?
I give the page.
Paige, I just need somebody's. I need to hold somebody's. Thank you. Okay, so your calculator handout I gave you the other day. If you want to read through the front side, you can. It literally goes through how to get to RF in case you really didn't understand. All I'm going to do is go to the back on the interpreting results. So we understand I'm looking for the identity matrix. The other 3 numbers in the last column are my answers. But there's potential that you don't get the identity matrix. So if you don't get the identity matrix, notice that it's not all ones on that diagonal, and there's an issue. If there's a 0 in the bottom, it's infinitely many. If you don't get all ones on the diagonal, and there's a 1 in the bottom, it's no solution. So it depends. Is there a 0 for your final entry or a 1 for your final entry? 0 implies infinitely many. 1 implies no solution. Okay, are there any questions about this? Then type in number 5. Obviously, we're expecting to get one of these answers. The first person to tell me the answer will be correct.
Infinitely, wait. Is it infinitely big?
It is. You can have 2 points next. Okay, for the rest of us who want to catch up to next page, type in number 5 into your matrix. So it's 4, 5, negative 4, negative 4, 4, 6, negative 4, 0, 2, negative 2, negative 2, negative 4. Second matrix, I want to do RF of that matrix. Okay, someone to tell me about the matrix they did get on their paper. So you typed in your calculator, and what did you see on the screen? Yes, I saw 001. So was anyone to put the answer of 001? Okay, so here's what I got. Again, since there's not all ones on the main diagonal, but that final entry is a 1, that's how we know it's supposed to be no solution. You thought you looked at the what?
I thought you meant to find out entrance and identity matrix. Like,
Oh, no. The second you see is not an identity matrix. You're like, it's either infinitely many or no solution. And then all you have to do is look at that bottom number. And like, let me see your thing on left side. Like your handout says, if it's a 0, it's infinitely many. Ooh, get on the screen. If it's a 0, it's infinitely many. If it's 1, it's no solution. We saw 1, it's no solution. Which, the reason it got 2 points is because he also used the vocab term inconsistent. So the answer for number 5 is no solution. Now, Karen likes to show work, which I appreciate. Would it be smart of her maybe to show on her paper the messed up matrix she did find? So 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, negative 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, and like to show me why she put no solution? Yeah, I think that would be genius. Okay, so type in number 6 and tell me what the answer is on number 6. If you can show me your calculator screen, it would make my life so much easier. Bless you. Yes, dear. Yes, dear. Okay, so here is why Daniel's going to get 2 points. So on number 6, he typed in his matrix, he pressed RF, and then you know what else he did? He turned it into fractions. He pressed math frac and turned it into fractions. So on his calculator, he sees, I definitely don't have the identity matrix. That last intro is a 0. It's infinitely many. Are there any questions about that? So number 6 is infinitely many. But would it be smart of Minnie, I can spell today, would it be smart of Daniel to put out that weirdo matrix he did get on his screen? Of course. So 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 4 sevenths, 5 sevenths, negative 5 sevenths, 0, 0, negative 22 over 7, negative 9 over 7. It would be smart of him to show that on his paper so I can know, like, what he did see. Because no offense, I'm not psychic. I don't know what your calculator screen said, so why you put the words you did. Why not write down what the calculator screen said so I can at least give you some points? Okay, are there any questions about this besides why did I deceive you for so long? Which is so sorry. Welcome to math class. Oh. Okay, then I've already typed in the zeros for the page 39. So if you've not shown me page 39, you really want to rectify that. I think everyone in here did though. I don't recall. And then page 41, if you hadn't showed me that, yeah, I'm typing in the zeros for that this afternoon. I'm going to wait on the page 43 until Monday, but the sooner you get it done, the sooner I'm happier. There is something due on Tuesday. What is due?